watching News Mongolia on MNB World. I'm your host, Susanna Oktay. Good evening. For our top stories, Age of Patience protest movement held. Virtual Naadam Festival cancelled. Hunnu aristocrat burial site to be restudied after 60 years. For other news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Health reported that 2,376 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed nationwide in the past 24 hours and 14 more people have died.
As of today, 2,376 new cases were confirmed among the over 9,585 people who took COVID-19 tests nationwide. 2,170 patients who were being treated have recovered within the past 24 hours. Unfortunately, 14 more people between the ages of 56 to 83 have died due to COVID-19 complications. All new cases are of domestic transmission, 1,494 out of which were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar, and the remaining 877 were confirmed in the provinces. 14,000 COVID-19 patients are being treated at hospitals nationwide, and additionally, about 25,000 patients are being treated at home. Yesterday, over 16,441 people received COVID-19 vaccines. Health officials keep warning the public to stay alert and follow strict social distancing, as not only the hospitals are filled to capacity, but more importantly, the health sector is facing a workforce shortage to fight against COVID-19.
Yesterday, on Thursday, the Age of Patience protest movement was held at Sukhpato Square. The public demanded to stop the upcoming virtual Naadam festival and opposed the extended lockdown until August 31st.
These days, around 2,000 new coronavirus cases and about 10 deaths are being confirmed daily. Due to the enhanced readiness regime that has continued for about 2 years, businesses are now in great debt, lost their employers and daily profits. At yesterday's protest, citizens, business owners, and healthcare workers confessed that they have reached their limit. Their livelihood has been falling apart. And protesters were angry at the government's decision of celebrating the Naadam festival next week virtually. They say government is treating the public unfairly. Social distancing measure is not being applied evenly for the whole organizing team of the Naadam festival. On the other hand, the healthcare system is on the brink of collapse. Health officials report that they are facing shortages of hospitals and healthcare workers during this rising surge of COVID-19.
So many people are dying and so many families are suffering from their lost loved ones. During this time, it's unimaginable to have a celebration.
We want to know how the Naadam celebration will benefit the struggle against COVID-19. This year is the 100th anniversary of the Mongolian People's Party. But that celebration could be postponed until next year.
Protesters demand that the festival budget must be used for fighting COVID-19 and providing life assurances for exhausted healthcare workers.
The Mongolian traditional Naadam festival was planned to be celebrated next week virtually. After facing public opposition, officials made the decision to cancel the festival.
Mongolia's National Naadam Festival, featuring traditional sports, is celebrated from July 10th to 12th every year. This year, the festival was planned for a live broadcast, but without any audience in attendance. However, the public viewed that the organization process of the festival violates social distancing rules, which have been strictly imposed on businesses and citizens. Also, the public worried that the so many unvaccinated child jockeys are putting their life at risk during the horse racing. The government has allocated a budget of 3 billion Mongolian tugrus for the virtual festival, that is around $1 million, to produce this year's broadcast-only festival. The public also demanded this expenditure should be used to support the collapsing healthcare system. After confronting public oppositions and several protest movements, today on Friday, the government decided to cancel the virtual celebration of Naadam.
During the annual session of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe (OSCE), a virtual meeting of the Committee on Democracy, Human Rights and Humanitarian Questions was held with the participation of more than 180 parliamentarians. At the meeting, the State Great Khorol of Mongolia was represented by Member of Parliament Tsogtbatr Demdeng, head of the Mongolian delegation to the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly. According to the agenda, the committee's report on reinforcing multilateralism in times of a global crisis, a parliamentary call for future action was presented by the rapporteur, the OSCE PA Vice President Ms. Kari Henriksen. The report states how human rights and freedom are violated and restricted during the global pandemic, as well as challenges facing the protection of human security, and notes the need for active and multilateral efforts to address them. Actions for 14 recommendations were also proposed in the report. The delegates expressed their views on the report and actively discussed the issues raised. The annual session of the OSCE PA will last for a week, consisting of meetings of 3 committees, the Standing Committee and the plenary session. Following Mongolia's full membership to the OSCE in 2012, the Parliament of Mongolia became a member of the OSCE PA, and in September of 2015, its regular autumn session was held in Ulaanbaatar. The Parliamentary Assembly is the main mechanism for interparliamentary dialogue between the 57 member states headquartered in Copenhagen, Denmark. And here are the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs. On the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the People's Revolution and the 100th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Russia, the Ministry of Culture opened a photo exhibition entitled Works of Russian Writers on the Mongolian Stage at the Russian Science and Culture Center in Ulaanbaatar. During the last century, Soviet educators played an important role in establishing professional theaters, training and educating artists in Mongolia. They performed dozens of works by famous Russian Soviet writers on the Mongolian stage. Yefremov, a theater specialist who was invited to Mongolia in 1930, introduced Stanislavski's acting training to Mongolia and contributed to the establishment of a professional theater. The exhibition is co-organized by the Mongolian Union of Photographers and the Russian Center for Science and Culture in Ulaanbaatar. The exhibition will feature more than 350 rare historical photographs stored in the archives of the State Academic Drama Theater, the State Academic Opera and Ballet Theater, the Mongolian Puppet Theater, the Mongolian Conservatory, and the Mongolian Theater Museum. Between 1960 and 1999, forest fire protection breaks were implemented in stages in the green zone of the capital city, and a total of 10 lanes with a width of 40 meters and a length of 2 to 6 kilometers each were established. In 2020, some of these, a 0.8 kilometers westbound lane behind Haltsang Pass and a 1.6 kilometer northeast lane at the beginning of Sharokmert were rehabilitated. This year, the renovation of the fire breaks were announced in accordance with the relevant law and the 310th Armed Forces Unit. A professional forestry organization under the Ministry of Defense was selected as the contractor. Based on the recommendations and conclusions of the relevant professional organizations, the unit has started to rehabilitate a 1.8 kilometer long fire break in the Arguntingam forest area of the 21st Hara of Sagung district. The purpose of the fire breaks is to reduce the risk of forest or steppe fires, to reduce the rate of fire spreads, and to stop fires. It also has a wide range of benefits, such as protecting and preventing the lives and property of people living in the green zone. The president of the Mongolian Academy of Science, RESTUDIED, has held a meeting with the ambassador of the Republic of Kazakhstan to Mongolia, Jalgas Adilbayev, exchanging views on the issues of intensifying cooperation in the field of science and technology. The sides agreed that the Academy of Science of the two countries have ample opportunities for cooperation in the areas of physics, mathematics, chemistry, and technology. Therefore, they tentatively agreed to establish a memorandum of cooperation between the two countries' Academy of Science this year. The sides also agreed that there are a wide range of research opportunities such as genetic research of the Kazakh, Mongol, Oirat, and Orange people. The ambassador handed over an invitation sent by the president of the Academy of Science of Kazakhstan to President RESTUDIED to visit the country on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the establishment of the Academy. 60 years ago, Mongolian and Hungarian scientists studied the burial site of Hunnu aristocrats that is located in Ulaanbaatar. This year, archaeological research will be done again by experts of the two countries.
A Hunnu aristocratic burial site called Bihingam Memorial in Ulaanbaatar was first detected by a joint research team of Hungary and Mongolia in 1960. In 1998, the site was listed as an immovable historical and cultural memorial of Mongolia. Yesterday, the research team commenced the archaeological study, which will continue for 45 days. Through this study, the researchers aim to enrich the previous study with newly revealed evidence.
There are 13 burial sites of Hunnu aristocrats found across the Eurasia region. 9 of them were found in Mongolia. Well-known burial sites are Noyung Ol and Qoldmot. Currently, we are conducting a renewed study at the Bihingam Memorial, which is located in Ulaanbaatar. We are aiming to resurrect Hunnu culture.
We want to learn more about our ancestors, especially Attila Han came from this lineage. Through this study, we aim to confirm whether the information written in the old manuscripts is correct.
The archaeological project at Bihingam Memorial will also focus on protecting the site and develop it as a historical tourist site destination, so that visitors can enjoy watching the invaluable legendary site of 2,200 years of history at the capital city.
And here's the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Monday with more stories and updates. Please follow MNB World on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.